Hello and good evening. My name is Jeremy or Germs PC. I am joined today by Danny Beans. How are you all today? How are you, Danny?
I'm great. How are you, Germs?
I can't complain. It has been a great Thursday, a break for Ohio State, but not a break for our Ohio State Rocket League team as we move into a doubleheader today against Waterloo Esports, Waterloo Warriors Black from the University of Waterloo, and Eastern Kentucky University as well. Both teams that we were playing, as well as the Ohio State team, are 3-1. So in this play versus, and it's definitely been a hard fought season as we move into week 5 of this.
Yeah, let me just say a much needed break for us students here. But like you said, the Rocket League team, we're gonna keep going here, and we got 2 great games against Waterloo and Eastern Kentucky. I'm excited to see what these teams can bring to the field today.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a best of 5 for both matches today. Waterloo is coming in with the same record as I said, 3-1. It looks like they took down Florida State White, Humber College Saffron, University of Toledo Esports, and then they fell to Winthrop University Gold. On the Ohio State Premier side, they won decisively against UIUC, their A team, the University of Illinois. ODU Silver, which is Old Dominion, Rowan Profs. They lost to their main team, but then won against their B team. So some great stuff coming in onto this match.
Yeah, a little bit of an unknown here. Neither teams have a common opponent, so nothing really to go off here, strength-wise. But I think it'll be an interesting match.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with the play versus especially, it's definitely going to be interesting seeing what all of these teams have to the table. The OSU roster is bringing all players into this, so we'll get the full spread of players going into this, and it's going to be great to see what they bring. We've seen a lot of matches coming into this. We saw them in the CRL qualifiers where they did not unfortunately qualify for CRL, and we saw them as well in a few other different collegiate leagues, and it's going to be great to see them again here.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm a little new to the collegiate Rocket League scene, but I'm super excited to cast with you and get the ball rolling here on another season.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here today. So yeah, if we look at Waterloo, the Waterloo Warriors Black, they actually, like the Ohio State Premier team, tried out for the CRL qualifier. Unfortunately did not secure a spot. They were able to make themselves into the winners round 3 of the pool 1, and unfortunately lost then to the winners round 4, where they fell down to the losers bracket round 3, where they were able to make a strong run until they lost in losers round 5 to Stevens Tech. So neither team made it into CRL, obviously, because we are here on Play Versus. But both of them made a very strong, stint into that qualifier. So it's going to be great to see what we have from them. And Waterloo, we've said it, several times. We've actually seen them before in other collegiate events. So it's going to be great to see what they have here for their Rocket League Black team.
Yeah, absolutely. Winning a few games, as you said, in the first round and in the second round. I don't think they'll be an easy team to beat. I think OSU is going to have a tough time winning against both these teams, Waterloo and Eastern Kentucky. Obviously, all 3 teams here, 3-1. I think we'll have a good slate of games today.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to get right into it. It looks like blue is Ohio State and orange is Waterloo Black. As we move on to the first of the best of 5 against Waterloo, it looks like Slaney and Jay Suds and I believe one more. Stu Slaney, and let's see if we can get that last person on the Ohio State side. For the Waterloo, it looks like Perk Dog, so Perk Dog's the third. Okay, so we see Perk Dog, Stu, and Slaney. For Ohio State, it looks like Kiwi, and a few others on the side of Waterloo, and Somnix as well. As we move on to the first one, this is regulation 5 minutes, and it has started already. It looks like we are going to see some midfield action. It's going to be a hard slug as they move into midfield, getting some taps in. It looks like it is just a very defensive game right now. No one really doing anything too crazy. Perk, though, and Slaney trying to defend against Kiwi, who looks like he was trying to get a double commit, but it looks like they are going to move back down to Waterloo side. Perk Dog getting a nice shot, but hitting the top. Slaney trying to get it in with Perk. It's an undefended goal, but it looks like Insomnics almost gets it into his own goal, and Kiwi as well trying to defend. They're able to get it back. Perk Dog trying to get the tap on it, unable to do so. It looks like Waterloo is going to commit to this attack, but Stu and Slaney able to take it back to the other side.
Both teams with a few missed balls early on, maybe a little rust here, but Ohio State now on the attack. They've had a few shots on net. Waterloo's had a little bit of trouble keeping the ball away from the goal here. Hopefully Ohio State will be able to keep that press up and hopefully get a few more shots. Waterloo looking, of course, to take it the other direction as they do now. Nice save there by Perk.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like, they have been keeping this forward pressure onto Waterloo this entire time. We'll definitely be able to take a look at that statistic, but overall it looks like Ohio State is definitely comfortable in getting that ball in. But look at that shot. Down from midfield comes the 1S, but is unable to get the shot. It's saved. It looks like there's some demos. Slaney saving the ball. And it looks like Insomnics is going to try to take it, but it looks like Perk is able to take the 1v1, getting it onto the field, trying to set up Slaney. Slaney is able to get the shot, and that's the first goal in the side of Ohio State.
Beautiful setup by Perk there to get it right into the middle. Slaney, easy shot. All he had to do was make contact, put it towards the net, and it gets in.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looked like that Ohio State was definitely comfortable going into that, able to get that first shot. And it's going to be a interesting game coming into this. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Ohio State up by 1. Currently on the Ohio State side, though, is Insomnics trying to get some space for his team, but Perk Dog's able to sit there and defend. Some boost coming in. Let's take a look real quick. It looks like Stu is trying to get the ball back with Perk, and Kiwi's going up for the shot, but it looks like he gets swatted away in the 1v1 as it goes back onto Waterloo side. Looks like we're going to see some more action here. Insomnics is looking to take some pressure and put it onto Ohio State. Perk there to defend. It looks like a demo coming in from Slaney. Kiwi trying to take a nice shot, but saved by Slaney. They are unable to capitalize on that man advantage while the demo happened, but looks like they are still trying to take control of the ball. But 3 players currently on the side of Ohio State trying to get it up to the side, but looks like Kiwi is there to get it back. And it's, definitely seeming like a back and forth here.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is that Ohio State seems to be winning a lot of the 50-50 balls. It's really working in their favor, able to stay on the attack for at least the majority of before the first goal. They're having a little more trouble here. Waterloo being much more aggressive, starting to get the ball in towards Ohio State's goal here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like, we're just seeing a lot of shots coming in from the side of Waterloo. It looks like they just want to see if they can get anything going. But look at that. Perk Dog able to take that. Stu with the assist. And that's a second on the board for Ohio State with only 1:13 left.
Yeah, Ohio State was patient. They played really good defense. They were able to get the ball back on Waterloo's half, and they made them pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It did look like it was a quite tactical way that they were playing that right there. They're really just waiting for Waterloo to kind of get tired and to be able to take it. But look at this fast goal almost going into Ohio State. 1S, I don't know if you realize that, but he could have had a free goal right there. But it looked like they were unable to capitalize. Insomnics trying to get it. Going to hit the crossbar, though. Try to go for the bounce back, but it looks like Slaney is there to defend Stu as well. Kiwi trying to poke the ball in, but is unable to do so. Yeah, Perk Dog, if he hadn't gotten that, with 46 seconds left, it could have been everything. But Kiwi's still hitting the top, still unable to capitalize. And it looks like Insomnics is there as well. They are just committing to this, and it looks like Stu is trying to get it all the way back. And if they just keep floaters like that, that's taking a lot of shaving a lot of time off the clock. With only 30 seconds left, Waterloo has to make a move.
Yeah, Ohio State putting the pressure on here late, up 2-0, but they don't want to let off the gas here. Don't want to give Waterloo a goal, let them back in the game at all.
Yeah, it looks like Stu is trying to go, but look at that! Oh no! That's everything. Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Exactly
Looks like
what Ohio State needed to avoid.
Yeah, it looks like Slaney actually missed it when he tried to boost up and tap it back onto Waterloo's side, but with that miss, that's 15 seconds left. Ohio State up by 1. And Waterloo could definitely take this over to overtime. It looks like they're trying to get it onto Ohio State side first. Perk Dog trying to put in the pressure, but Stu has to try to defend the ball.
Massive save by
able to get it
Slaney.
up. That's everything. 5 seconds left. Perk Dog just has to make sure that this taps the ground before Waterloo is able to capitalize on this. Slaney taking it all the way to the side, and Somnic's trying to keep this thing alive. Stu has to save it, and looks like Perk Dog is able to get it all the way over to midfield and secure the first game to Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State. Wow, they they were looking great there at the beginning. They had the ball in Waterloo's half for a vast majority of the first half of that game. Waterloo was able to put the pressure on late. Ohio State, of course, had that 2-goal lead, but there at the end, much closer than Ohio State would have wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, I think, going forward, Ohio State is going to have to make sure that they can keep up that pressure and just the way that they were able to keep up the team. Slaney, I mean, it should have been 2-0 if Slaney had gotten that tap back onto midfield and, just send the ball all the way over to Waterloo's side. But it looks like it was just unfortunately a little short there. But still coming up on the side of Ohio State, it's going to be interesting coming into game 2 to see exactly what they change here. We saw a lot of aggression. If we looked over at the management in terms of pressure, I think the pressure would have been on Waterloo there in terms of just how much they had to try to defend against Ohio State, because Ohio State kept it on to Waterloo's side, I'd like to say, for more than 60% of that game.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's crazy is as much as Waterloo was on the defense there, they had Ohio State scrambling there at the end. I think both teams here excel when they're at keeping the pressure on, so it's going to be interesting to see who can keep the pressure on here in game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like, wow, look at this fast goal coming in from 1S. That was just straight from the start. That should not have happened. And Somnix looks like he was able to get the first tap on it, setting up 1S to be able to just get it into Ohio State's goal for a quick goal, less than 2 seconds.
Like maybe a little miscommunication there on the side of Ohio State. Giving them a free goal right off the bat is not what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Slaney is really the one that's defending a lot with Stu in the back. And, unfortunately, it looked like that they were just out of place and just unable to defend the goal against such a fast thing. Perk Dog, though, able to take control of this ball for the second attempt, going onto Waterloo's side, and Somnix there to defend. But it looks like Stu and Perk Dog are able to take it to Waterloo and bring the score back to a tied game.
Perk Dog doing it himself, it seems, off the backboard. Right back to himself, puts it in, ties it up 1-1. 2 goals in the first 22 seconds here. This might be a bit of a shootout in game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like both teams have kind of reset from this, both trying to put the pressure on the other team. Stu almost looked like he was going to try to get it again, hitting the crossbar. And it looks like Slaney as well, trying to bring in that pressure, but look at the rotations coming in. Perk Dog and Stu there to defend against Insomnix. Insomnix almost gets the shot. Perk Dog has to try to get this. He's able to save it away. 1S is trying to get control of the ball. Looks like Stu was able to win the 1v1, but Kiwi trying to set up his team for that assist. It looks like Insomnix is going to try to take another goal, but they are the defenders. Perk Dog taking it over to Waterloo's side, and it looks like they're going to have to rotate into defense, but Insomnix and Kiwi have something to say about it. Looks like Slaney and Stu are there to defend from Ohio State. Perk Dog able to take it up midfield onto Waterloo's side, as all 3 members of Waterloo are sitting in their side. Perk Dog and Slaney trying to go up for the shot set up by Stu, but is unable to do anything with it. And look at that demo from Perk. Are they able to capitalize on this extra man advantage? It looks like they're going to try to. Stu going in with a nice shot, but is unable to get it, and 1S is able to take the ball back over to Ohio State side.
Ohio State keeping the pressure on here. They've had the ball for about the last minute up in Waterloo's half. Waterloo now obviously on Ohio State's half. But, the teams have slowed down a little bit. Obviously the 2 quick goals in the first 20-some seconds of the game. Teams are settling down now. They're starting to play more to their strategies, looking for better opportunities. And Insomnix getting a goal all by himself right there. Bounced it off the ground, low to high there.
Yeah, and that's going to be big. Like you said, in the first 22 seconds, we had our only 2 goals to be scored, and for that about minute 40 seconds, we had just a lot of pressure coming in from both sides and some failed attempts at getting the ball in. But it looked like Ohio State had just kind of worn themselves out, and Waterloo was able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, both teams. It seemed like keeping the pressure on was Kiwi with another goal. You know, I'm saying, both teams seem as like they're better when the pressure's on the other team's defense. However, I mean, if you see here, I think the key now is really just going to be which team is going to be able to scramble around longer in their own net, keep the ball out, and get on the counteroffensive.
Absolutely. I mean, that right there, that goal could be really the deciding factor. Still 3 minutes to be played, and it looks like Ohio State is putting the pressure on to Waterloo with Perk trying to get a shot on, but unable to get it. Looks like it was going to hit the top a little bit. Perk Dog getting that 1v1, taking the ball, but Kiwi able to defend it. Stu back onto the side of Waterloo, putting on that pressure. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, and Waterloo is up by 2. Ohio State really needs to have an answer for what Waterloo has been doing, and Somnix and Kiwi have, it seems like, just been really able to run circles around the Ohio State defense.
Big demolition in the back line by Perk. That's going to get the goalie out, give Ohio State a second to regroup, hopefully get a shot on net here.
Yeah, absolutely. Those demos seem to be coming in big. I mean, it definitely gives a little bit of time for Ohio State to reset. And it looks like now, given what's going on, 1S trying to get a nice shot from midfield, but unable to do so. Stu losing the 1v1. Slaney has to try to defend this. Looks like they're able to bat it back down. Stu is trying to go for the ball and win this 1v1, and it looks like he's able to tap it over to the side of Waterloo and put the pressure back on their side. 1:40 left on the clock, though. It's going to have to be close now. I mean, we saw it before. We saw in those 40 seconds of last game that Waterloo was able to score against Ohio State, but Ohio State's going to now have to do the same thing. Perk Dog trying to get the rotation. Kiwi getting a nice close shot onto Ohio State, and Somnix also trying to put on that pressure. 1:19 left on the clock. All these advances seem to just be shaving off time that Ohio State could use to get back in. 1S as well, just really putting that in. All three players from both teams on Ohio State's side. Perk Dog trying to bat it away back onto Waterloo's side, but Kiwi and the rest of Waterloo seem to want to keep up this pressure.
Waterloo just keeps getting touches. They're able to keep it on their half. They're really bleeding out Ohio State's time for a comeback here. Ohio State scrambling in the net, just trying to make sure that they don't add another goal to the tally.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at that rotation that almost came in. If it wasn't for Slaney getting that boost, I don't think they would have been able to defend against Kiwi. He was, definitely gunning for the goal. And 42 seconds left. Ohio State has to have an answer for these two goals. Stu trying to get it out of the backfield, but 1S is keeping it afloat in the air, and all that air time is going to lead to Ohio State not having a lot of regular time to get it into the goal. Slaney going up for a nice goal, but able to get it. 26 seconds left, and Ohio State now down by 1.
Back in the same situation as last game, Ohio State on the other end of it this time. However, let's see if they're able to do what Waterloo couldn't, maybe get a goal in the last 26 seconds here.
Yeah, this could be a really close game. 26 seconds. I mean, in 2 seconds, we saw a goal happen for the side of Waterloo. Ohio State could get this on to an overtime. Stu going in, trying to get the midfield. It looks like Kiwi is there to defend. If he hadn't gotten that and pulled what happened to Ohio State, that could have been overtime secured for Ohio State. But look at this, Perk Dog from the side, able to get it on a free net. Looked like there was a double commit there from Kiwi and 1S, and they were caught out of, no, it looks like Insomnix actually missing the shot, yeah. And Perk able to get it in an empty net. This could be overtime, or even somebody coming out of this in the last 14 seconds.
Perk just happened to be in the right place in the right time, and Somnix with a huge miss off the backboard there, and Perk just able to put it in the net.
Yeah, 8 seconds left. I think Ohio State is definitely content with trying to get this into overtime, as Waterloo is putting the pressure onto Ohio State, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. First one to score here wins. As we move into the round of overtime, this is just basically whoever gets the first goal wins this game, and we'll go on to game 3 then. Perk Dog is trying to get all the way over to Waterloo, putting the pressure on with Stu. Stu trying to go in for the shot, but is getting blocked by Insomnix and Kiwi. Kiwi trying to defend against Ohio State. Looks like Perk Dog is there. Everyone trying to commit to this. We could see some aggression coming in from Waterloo now as a punishment for all this attack, but Stu and Slaney are still content with trying to take this. Perk, though, is having to defend against all of the 1S, able to win the 1v1 against 1S, and Slaney trying to get it in. It's an empty goal. If they don't get a boost, they could get the win, and it looks like Slaney's able to get it. That's another goal for Slaney, and a win for game 2 for Ohio State.
Really missed opportunity there for Waterloo. They had a 3-1 lead. They were really controlling the game on both ends. They had great defense, great rotations. They were really putting the pressure on when the ball was in Ohio State's half, but wow, they just couldn't keep it in one piece there at the end.
That was a great game. That's the kind of Rocket League that I love to see, and I really hope to be able to see more of those close games because that was just the kind of stuff that I love to see in collegiate esports.
Yeah, both of these games coming up super close there at the end. Obviously, Slaney being able to net the overtime winner. Ohio State coming out, like I said, on top of both these very close games. Waterloo just seems like they're not able to close it out.
Yeah, but it did look like Waterloo was able to regroup. It looked like Ones, Kiwi, and Insomniacs were able to put that pressure that Ohio State was putting on them in that first game and just apply it to Ohio. And there was a second there where, we were seeing just some quick goals in quick succession, 22 seconds and 2 goals scored. I mean, Ones was really able to take that fast goal and put the pressure onto Ohio State to perform.
Yeah, Waterloo had everything going their way for a vast majority of that second game. Like I said, they were killing it on defense. They were really putting the pressure on Ohio State. Ohio State able to find a lot of momentum there at the end, though. Let's see if they can carry that into this game 3 or if Waterloo's able to build off of everything they had going for it in the beginning of game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. We could see the 3-0 sweep. I mean, if they win this game, Ohio State just is able to win it and move on into their next match. And it looks like a quick demo coming in from Ones, able to take out Slaney. Slaney having to regroup with his team. Currently an empty goal. Perkdog and Slaney trying to defend now. Ones taking a shot onto it. Stu able to defend with Slaney. Insomniacs, though, trying to win, but unable to win that 1v1. Kiwi taking it back up to midfield with Perkdog. Perkdog trying to defend, and it looks like Ones there too. Ones is able to actually get a very nice tap onto the goal, and that's a quick first point for Waterloo.
It's a big goal there on the 50-50 ball. One's just able to get the better of Perk there and put away the goal. 23 seconds in the game, another quick goal in this series.
Yeah, it looks like Ones is really the one that's able to open up against Ohio State here. He's the one that was able to get both goals in fast succession, but Insomniacs coming in as well with a very fast goal from the original point, and Insomniacs able to just get it into an empty goal.
Yeah, a bit of a misplay by Slaney there. Didn't quite judge it right, and Insomniacs there to take advantage. Quick 2-0 lead for Waterloo. Let's see if Ohio State can respond.
Yeah, with 27 seconds into the game, 2 goals on the side of Waterloo. Ohio State really has to bring in the pressure now and try to get some goals back. And Slaney looks like he's going to try to get it into Perk, able to tap it in. And that's exactly what you wanted to see coming back into the Slaney, getting a nice tap, and Perk able to just get set up right there and get it into the net.
12 seconds later, and Ohio State strikes back. A flurry of goals here to start game 3. That shootout that we thought we were going to see in game 2 might be here game 3.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I like to see, just the pressure being applied to both sides, really being able to see which team is able to do better at their boost management and rotations. And it looks like Ohio State so far has some answers for what Waterloo is trying to do. Ones, though, taking it back. Stu able to get it back onto midfield, but Kiwi there as well. Perkdog setting up Ones. Ones could get a nice shot here. Slaney looks like he's there to defend, though, and bring it back over to Waterloo side and midfield. Stu and Perk trying to get this over to Waterloo side, apply the pressure. That's a nice demo coming in from Perk. Stu almost able to get a shot, but Kiwi there to defend. Perkdog trying to set up his team, gonna be a little high. And Slaney, though, coming in from the top, able to just get that nice shot onto the goal, and a tied game now for Ohio State.
Yeah, Perk able to get the demo in the goal there, really helped out Slaney, made the net a little more open.
Yeah, it looks like it caught a lot of Waterloo players off with that demo, and it made it really hard to defend that goal. And we saw that there as Ohio State wanted to capitalize on that demo. And it's going to be interesting coming into this. Ohio State now has a lot of momentum in their favor now as they move into 2 goals in the recent time. Kiwi, though, trying to put it back onto Ohio State side with One's going in for the goal, but Stu able to defend. Close shot there, almost an empty net, but Ones and Insomniacs are trying to get it in, able to hit the top, unable to get the shot. Kiwi as well. All 3 members of Waterloo are here trying to attack, and it looks like their efforts are going to be unsuccessful as they rotate back over to their side.
Yeah, Ohio State, they came back with a vengeance, tied it up 2-2. They've got the pressure on now. They're trying to get Waterloo, keep them on their back foot. this is what they did near the end of the game 3. They're just trying to do it way earlier here in game 2. Hopefully, keep their foot on the gas.
Well, yeah, with 2 minutes and 44 seconds on the clock, this is still anyone's game. This is the third game, and Ohio State looks like they are still bringing their all with Waterloo. Ones and Kiwi trying to set themselves up, but look at this. It's an empty goal, and Stu and Slaney able to score. That is a third on the board in Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State taking the 3-2 lead there. Slaney with 2 goals in a row. He's starting to pour it on. He's getting hot.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we see that was just an empty goal. Kiwi trying to get onto rotation, but unable to defend that goal. Slaney and Perk trying to keep up the pressure, though. Stu coming in from the midfield, but Perk looks like he tapped the wrong way. He could get it into his own goal, but he is there to defend his own shot. With Slaney as well, looks like they want to try to get this empty goal, but Ones is here and unable to win the 50-50, though. Slaney going up for it. It's a double commit from Ohio State, and Somnix and Ones trying to put the pressure now back onto Ohio State as they move quickly onto their side, setting themselves up. Kiwi there too. It looks like it's going to go back to midfield. A minute 57, and Slaney from the midfield almost getting a shot, but that demo from Insomnics will reset the defense for Ohio State.
Yeah, they demoed Slaney there. They didn't want him anywhere near their goal after the last few minutes.
Yeah, and it looks like, you know, we're definitely seeing a lot of midfield action. Perk almost getting it, but looks like Ones is able to tap it in as an unprotected goal. Means a tied game now for Waterloo.
Yeah, Ones with the first shot. Looked good for a second off the crossbar, but never fear. Ones is here, able to put it back and tie it up 3-3.
Never fear, Ones is here indeed. And it's going to be interesting coming into this next whoever gets this next goal. You know, minute 30 left on the clock, and it looks like what usually happens is just quick succession. Perk trying to get it in, but looks like Ones is able to defend. That was a close goal, almost in all the way. Looks like Slaney and Stu want to keep this up as they go, and Slaney able to get it. Nice shot from Ohio State. With a minute 18, Ohio State is currently in the lead.
Slaney there, tipping the cap on the hat trick there, putting his 3rd goal away, giving Ohio State the lead. Minute 18 to go. As you said, these goals are in quick succession. Let's see if Waterloo can respond or if Ohio State's going to be able to hold out.
Yeah, with a minute 18 left, Ohio State may try to do what Waterloo couldn't and just try to hold the ball in midfield, get it in the air as long as possible, because the amount of time that it's in the air means the amount of time that Waterloo cannot score. But it looks like Insomnics is trying to change that, getting a nice shot, but Slaney there to defend. 1 minute remaining on this clock as it goes on to Waterloo's side. Stu trying to keep the pressure up, unable to win the 1v1. It's going back over to midfield as Slaney is there trying to defend with Perk Dog. They are caught in rotation. Perk Dog, it's now an empty goal. Insomnics with a close shot, but Stu there going back to defend. It's now a full commit on the side of Waterloo as they have to try to get a goal here in order to stay in this match. It looks like Perk, though, and Slaney able to get it. That's a 5th goal and 36 seconds left on the board for Ohio State.
Slaney doing absolutely everything for this Ohio State team here. 4 goals, 1 assist, I believe a save as well. He has put the team on his back here in game 3. He wants the sweep.
Absolutely, and you know, with 36 seconds left, Waterloo has to make up a lot of space if they want to stay competitive in this. And with 30 seconds left, Ohio State could just be content with keeping a very solid defense and not overcommitting to any kind of attack. But Stu trying to bring the pressure with Slaney.
Slaney with a
5th goal in this set. That is a huge achievement for Slaney. And with 23 seconds left, it's going to be hard pressed for Waterloo to come back from this.
Slaney is absolutely unconscious right now. 5 goals. He's just putting the team on his back.
Slaney really did not want to go to game 4. He had somewhere to be. He wants to be here. Stu trying to get another goal in. It seems like on the side of Waterloo, the defense has just kind of fallen apart here in communication. Kiwi trying to get the ball back over to midfield, losing that 1v1. Perk Dog and Stu there to defend with 4 seconds remaining. It's all but over as Ohio State beats Waterloo 3-0 in the match.
Yeah, this whole time, both teams so aggressive, so good on the attack, so many opportunities. I was waiting for one team to just put their foot on the gas pedal and not let up, and Ohio State really did that here in game 3. Slaney obviously with 5 goals and an assist. Really a key part of the offense in game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw there, he actually had 2 aerial goals as well, which is a huge achievement. Definitely the MVP of Game 3 in that match was Slaney. Slaney just coming in huge, able to get 5 of the 6 kills on the side of Ohio. And just really put that pressure on Waterloo, which Waterloo wasn't really able to respond at that end game.
Yeah,
We
Waterloo.
saw a lot of good stuff in the beginning from Waterloo. We saw that first goal within that 12 seconds. Ohio State really able to come back though and show Waterloo that we have our full game.
Yeah, Ohio State extremely resilient there. Game 1 they came out really slow. Waterloo, or sorry, they came out really fast. Waterloo started to come back at the end. Ohio State able to hold. Game 2, Waterloo comes out quick. And even Game 3, Waterloo comes out quick. Ohio State able to show that they're resilient. Come back, settle down, get some quick goals. Obviously, Slaney there coming in Game 3 with his hair on fire. 5 goals and an assist. I believe a save, maybe 2. Also doing it at both ends of the field there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as this is a doubleheader, we're not done here. Ohio State still has another match against Eastern Kentucky, and it's going to be great to see these players come back. We may see some rotations coming in. We may see some new faces as we move on to this next match of the night.
Yeah.
But definitely still bringing that Ohio State spirit. It seems like coming into this, and
Yeah.
overall a 3-0 sweep against Waterloo is definitely a trendsetter. It's going to be able to keep the morale up, and I think that 3-0 is definitely going to show as we move into match 2.
Yeah, obviously all these teams being 3-1, beating Waterloo 3-0, they're not a pushover. A lot of great things from Ohio State there. Obviously, as you said, we may have a few rotations in there, but hopefully they can keep the momentum up into this game with the Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you look at the run that Waterloo was able to make in the CRL. They are definitely no slouch. They are definitely a competitive team, and congratulations to them. And good luck to them in the rest of their play versus qualifiers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this upcoming match here. Sorry, just pulling up my notes.
This next match against Eastern Kentucky will definitely be an interesting one. So everyone, please stay here as we move on to a break. We'll be right back. My name is Jeremy, or Germs PC. I am joined today by Daniel, Danny Beans, and today we will see Eastern Kentucky after the break. Hello and welcome back, everyone. My name is Jeremy or Germs PC. I am joined by Daniel or Danny Beans, and today we have our second match of the night against Eastern Kentucky. How are you today, Daniel?
I'm doing great. We got a good match coming up against Eastern Kentucky. Both teams sitting at 3-1 right now in play versus. Hopefully it's as exciting as the game against Waterloo.
Absolutely. Actually, we are now at 4-1 after we were able to 3-0
This
sweep
is true.
Waterloo. So that just advances Ohio State up on the play versus bracket. We're hoping to take on Eastern Kentucky here. We don't know if they won their first match of the night today. It'll be interesting going forward to see what they did. But, obviously, Eastern Kentucky also participated in the CRL qualifier, unable to get a spot into that league, but definitely making it far and no slouch.
Yeah. Again, we got no overlap so far in what teams we've played, and Eastern Kentucky has played in the play versus. So we're going in a bit blind again. The series versus Waterloo was super intense, a lot of goals. Hopefully, we get some more great action.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what we have going on at the table. And, we're going to be seeing some new faces from the Ohio State side. Like I said, both rosters, everyone from the team will be playing tonight. So it's going to be interesting who they bring in. We obviously saw Slaney coming in clutch and able to really get a lot of goals. I mean, we saw that 5 goals in that last game against Waterloo. I mean, he put the team on his back and really excelled.
Yep, 5 goals and the assist, as if he wasn't doing enough already. Making sure to get in on every single goal in the game for Ohio State. Um, if he's not playing, then hopefully somebody will pick up where he left off and really dominate in the next series.
Yeah, and it looks like, Ohio State at that game 3 was really able to just find their tempo and bring that aggression onto Waterloo, able to keep up all of that pressure and really have Waterloo scrambling for the defense. That's what you want to see in terms of a good game of Collegiate Rocket League.
Yeah, they were firing on all cylinders there at the end. Obviously, Slaney doing a lot of the work, but the whole team was playing well. They were all rotating well, getting back on defense, not allowing bad goals, anything like that. So, hopefully whoever comes in is able to pick up right where they left off. Maybe get a sweep. Maybe bring home a win for the boys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's a great night to be here. I am definitely excited to watch some great Rocket League action right now. It's just been a blast to watch it. These teams, they put a lot of hours and dedication into them just be able to excel on the field. I mean, they're able to do just aerobatics in the air that I definitely am not able to do in the game. So that's why I guess I'm here casting instead of being out on that field and playing.
Yeah, I'm always down to watch some amazing Rocket League. RLCS, also Collegiate Rocket League. These guys are way better than I'll ever be. It's amazing to watch them be able to make all these crazy plays.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm definitely expecting this coming into Eastern Kentucky to no holds, action, and to be able to get that 5-1 would definitely be a great thing to see. Hopefully, we get to watch that match shortly as we move into the second match of the night. We definitely saw a lot of good coming in from Ohio State. They were a little rocky in that first. They were definitely losing a few 1v1s that they shouldn't have, missing a few easy defenses onto the goal, as well as um, some very early problems just happening whenever the ball tip happened, just getting off to a rocky start. But overall, able to really come back and take Waterloo out from the competition.
Yeah, Ohio State, they really struggled off the tip. They gave up, I think it was 2 goals almost right off the tip. But the longer the ball was in play, the stronger they looked. Their rotations got smoother. They were getting better passes, more centers, more attempts on net, cleaner saves. They really just strengthened as the ball was out.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely felt like that. Ohio State really wanted to put that pressure onto Waterloo by the end of that. They were just constantly going after the aggression and able to really take a lot of space. The rotations also looked solid, not a lot of empty net coming into that. And, it really just spoke volumes in that last game where they were able to, get those 3 goals in quick succession. Slaney just coming in clutch, able to get those 3 kills just very fast. and bring Ohio State over the top and get a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. The pressure was vital for Ohio State. Even in the last 30 seconds, I think they had two or three shot attempts. Despite being up three, they were really all about putting the pressure on, keeping Waterloo on their back foot. That's where they really showed out.
Yeah, and I think definitely it's important for Ohio State to decide, are we going to play a solid defense when we are up, or are we going to keep applying that pressure? Ohio State realized, I think, by the end of it, that Waterloo was definitely having some issues there on the defense, and they decided to just full send it and able to get a lot of pressure on Waterloo and get some very fast goals.
Yeah, that decision you mentioned, I think they really switched their mindset between the second game and the third game. Or sorry, the first game and the second two games. The first game they were trying to play a lot of defense at the end. They got the quick 2-0 lead, and then they kind of stopped attacking, and it really didn't work for them. They almost blew the lead there at the end. Waterloo getting a goal right near the end, almost getting a second one. A lot of chances on net, made it really close for Ohio State, and then obviously in the third game, we saw, like I said, the two or three shots in the last 30 seconds. Even though the game was basically over, they just kept the pressure on. And I think that change in mentality really helped them, especially in the third game.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that shift just really brought on, just a wave of offense for Ohio State side. We definitely saw in the beginning they were playing a lot more passive. They were keeping, it looked like Slaney on the backfield to just try to defend full time. Really not committing in those rotations and trying to play a more passive game. And I think by game two they were definitely more willing to stay into that offensive position and put the pressure back on Waterloo, because we saw maybe 60% overall of the pressure being put on Waterloo for game two, or for game one, sorry, but definitely in the 70%, if not even 80 for games two and three. Just a lot of overall ball presence on Waterloo side, and it made them scramble. We saw a
Yeah,
lot of time where Waterloo was just caught in rotations. They thought they had all of the commitment to that ball. We saw some double commits on the side of Waterloo that didn't unfortunately work out for them, and led to a lot of missed opportunities from them.
yeah. Ohio State was really putting the pressure on, as you said. A couple double commits coming out of Waterloo. Even Ohio State getting a couple demos. They weren't able to capitalize on a lot of them, but I know in game three they were able to capitalize on one. I believe that was the goal that tied it up 3-3. Despite it having not worked previously, they kept going back to it. It netted them a goal, and they were able to just really force it into the side of Waterloo and always just keep them on their back foot. And especially, it helped out that they could just keep going back to Slaney, feeding the hot hand. He just kept coming through for him.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like that he was just in tip-top shape, able to get all of those goals. It looked like the ball was magnetic into Waterloo's goal, just able to get those 5 goals, really just taking the team on his back, like you said, and really try to get, all the goals. And, it worked out. Ohio State is reaping the benefits right now, able to get, that 4-1, which is great to see. We'll hopefully get that 5-1. And that's just going to be a great scoreline moving forward into this round robin. Obviously, as we move higher, we're going to be having to face more teams that are also 5-1. So it's not going to be an easy road ahead of Ohio State if we win here today, but definitely one that I think the players are ready to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it be 4-2, 5-1, being above 500, that's huge for Ohio State. The competition's only going to get harder the more you win. But they seemed up to the challenge. A 3-1 team in Waterloo, that's no pushover. And to be able to 3-0 them really show some dominance, especially in the third game, getting more comfortable as the series went on and really just keeping their foot on the gas. Huge for Ohio State.
Yeah, and I mean, we're gonna have to see moving forward just in this next game, and it looks like we're gonna be able to get that for you shortly as they create the lobby now. We're gonna have to see exactly what's going on in terms of just are they able to keep that constant aggression. We talked about how well Slaney was able to just put them on their back. Who's gonna be the one to step up on this new team? Whoever is on the side of Ohio State when they get on the field, to put that kind of pressure on the attack. We saw Waterloo just definitely getting out pressured. It looked like there was just a point where the defense just kind of gave up and never was able to really recover. Ohio State is going to have to find someone else if it's not Slaney to be able to get that point again against Eastern Kentucky, because if they're able to get that, I mean, we could see another 3-0 sweep. That was, it looked like game one, getting out the cobwebs. Game two, they were really able to analyze their opponent. In game three, they just brought their A game, and they looked like they wanted to finish the match in three, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking for Ohio State to get out to a good start here. They were able to do so in game one of the previous series. However, I think here they really need to just keep their foot on the gas. Keep pushing. Don't get too defensive. Play to the strengths of being aggressive, forcing the ball down their throat, and really just keeping the pressure on. Don't let them get comfortable.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing is they really have to keep it fresh. They don't want to fall into complacency where they're just, doing regular rotations and making it really easy to read for Eastern Kentucky. That's the main thing that you can see sometimes with these collegiate matches is they're just, allowing themselves to get into a default position and just really get overrun. And, while it is important to definitely have that kind of default position where you can fall back on and say, okay, Jace, there's someone else is going to be able to, stay in the goal and just be able to defend. It's also important to have that kind of random ability where you're just able to say, okay, I'm going to just start driving the ball forward. And, I expect my team to help me. So, being able to get that teamwork in is going to be important coming into this game. And with some new players in the roster, we're going to be able to see exactly what teamwork is able to be brought into the battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether that be maybe they get some dribbles going, or little unorthodox centers here off the maybe off the ceiling, off the wall, whatever it be. Little pizzazz into the game. You don't, like you said, you don't want to get stuck into the defaults. Don't want to be too predictable. Got to be able to make your opponent have to think about what you're going to do. Really just get ahead of the other team mentally.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing is to just get ahead of the other team. Whether you're able to just mentally, outmaneuver them in the way that you would be able to see exactly, what kind of weaknesses they have. Oh, you see the goal is empty. You're able to just take a nice clean shot down midfield, able to get it in against them. Or if you're able to just, through raw talent, just be able to outshoot your opponent. I think anything that Ohio State can do here to be able to take out Eastern Kentucky is going to be vital. And, we're going to see that moving forward. This is obviously, just going into this, this is going to be the sixth match of, this tournament. But moving forward, we're going to have to see what goes on with these players. Are we going to see Slaney still coming in with that strong attack, or are we going to see some other stuff coming in and some other players emerging as the stars?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, different attacks. So I remember game three, Slaney had a beautiful shot from about half court. Stuff like that. Obviously centering the ball and getting shots on net is going to be super important. But those opportunities that come when the other team isn't prepared are going to be huge.
Yeah, the rotations coming in from Ohio State were great. I mean, we saw in game three that they had some flubs here and there. They were getting caught off guard, especially when they were bringing in some very fast aggression. It really made Ohio State flustered. But overall, those rotations coming in for game three were just fantastic. I mean, we saw a lot of shots able to be defended by all of the members of Ohio State. I mean, I couldn't just name one, but all three of them were just trying their best. I think Perk Dog was really trying to stay more midfield, able to get a little bit more pressure onto the side of them. And overall, I think that it was just a great game from everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. The rotations were on point, especially in the last game. They got more comfortable in the first game. The few missed balls, a few bad rotations, and even miscommunication off the tip, stuff like that. But the more they played, they really found their rhythm, found their groove, really able to like iron out the kinks. As you said, the perfect rotations, seamless rotations in game three are really something that they're going to need to focus on. Coming forward in this new series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's going to be important just in general. You're going to be definitely seeing a lot more pressure coming into these next matches with teams. If we get that 5-1, we're going to be getting round robin against other teams that are 5-1. And it's, just that much of another level that you have to play to be competitive against the big teams in this league. You're just going to see it minutely. Just the reaction times are going to be a little bit higher. Just the rotates have to just be a little bit faster. And if you get caught out, that could be the difference between winning and losing the match. So it's definitely going to be interesting coming into here, and I'm definitely excited coming into the next weeks. What's going to happen?
Yeah, obviously me as well. I think the biggest thing for Ohio State going forward, especially as they're winning these games, getting higher, getting higher seed, 4-1, 5-1, maybe 4-2 even, but take everything as a learning experience, especially in this last game. There are a lot of things. Waterloo poked a lot of holes in their defense, in their rotations, especially early. But they learned, they fought back, they came back, obviously able to get the sweep. But that's huge for them. Being able to learn, adapt to other teams' play styles is going to be huge for them going forward as they face better and better teams.
Yeah, and it looks like I just got news of the roster for this game too. It looks like it's the three other players on the Premier team. It's going to be Diesel, Queeds, and Pook on the side of Ohio State. All three different players. I've seen all of these before. They are, some fantastic players. Everyone on the Premier team is great, and league's better than me, which is why I'm here casting. But obviously, all puns are able to be made for pokes. So watch out for that as we move on to this game. It's always a little bit of fun. Diesel too. You can talk about cars all you want.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see a completely new roster for this game. Obviously, that means no momentum carried forward, especially from like guys like Slaney who showed out in the last game. But also at the same time, fresh team, fresh strategies. We may see some completely different things here. Maybe they don't go as aggressive as we get into game one here.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah, looks like
hopefully
we're gonna
it's a
see
great
it.
game.
Yeah, and it looks like on the side of Eastern Kentucky we have Nightmares, and also just went off the side. It looks like Poke's here too, and it looks like it's JG on the side of EKU, and we'll be able to get the last one shortly. It looks like
Yeah.
it's Tilted Joe. So, and then obviously Poke, Queeds, and Diesel on the side of Ohio State. As I said, as we move into this first match, Queeds having to defend the goal against EKU, but Nightmares able to score quickly against Ohio State.
Yeah,
First goal on the board for EKU.
Yeah, another quick goal against Ohio State. Not what they wanted to see here. Looks like despite the new roster, the similar problems are gonna continue here in the next game. Hopefully, Ohio State has an answer.
Yeah, with only 27 seconds into the match, we already see that first, goal go on the side of Ohio State. Queeds is trying to put in the pressure, though, as they move on to the side of EKU. Poke trying to poke it in, unable to get it. Nightmares putting it back on the backfield, but Queeds winning the 1v1. JG then swatting it on the side of Ohio State. Rotates coming in for Ohio. Queeds and Poke there to defend. Diesel trying to take it up to midfield. Tilted able to win the 1v1, though. Poke trying to go back, but Nightmares is there to swat it away, but it looks like JG is going to have to try to defend against this site. Queeds putting it up for his team, but Tilted there to take it back as they move back onto the midfield. Nightmares, though, with a shot on the open goal. Poke trying to defend, able to get it. Nice save coming in from Poke. As we move back onto midfield, Ohio State side is getting pressured, it seems like a lot, by EKU.
Yeah, a really good opportunity for Ohio State there. Weren't able to convert. It looked like, I believe it was Tilted Joe able to get the bump there right in front of the net to keep the shot from being on net. Ohio State really got the pressure on there for a little bit. They're looking a lot like they were last series, trying to really get the pressure on.
Yeah, and I mean, going into this, it's going to be important to be able to get that pressure onto the side of EKU. It seems like EKU is no slouch either as they move on to it. Diesel trying to get it. Poke able to get the goal. Nice shot. Getting set up by Diesel there. That's one on the board for Ohio State now.
Huge goal for Ohio State there. It looks like he was able to thread it top right, just above the goalie. Yep, just above Tilted Joe there. Huge shot by Poke. Really needed that one. It's a tie game now. 3 minutes to go. Anything could happen.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be important who gets this ball as Poke tries to go for it, able to win the 1v1, keeping it back over on the side of OSU. Nightmare, though, trying to get it in. Diesel has to defend. Looks like Tilted is going to go for a shot, but Diesel is able to defend. Nightmare is trying to now defend against the 3 players from Ohio State. On the side of EKU, the ball is currently being pressured. Diesel and Poke going for it, but Nightmares is there to get it first. Poke now has to defend with Queeds as Nightmare goes up to the goal. Looks like he's trying to set up one of his team, but Poke able to bring it back. JG is there to defend back to midfield. Queeds, though, winning the 1v1 for Poke. Poke is trying to get it in, but it looks like Tilted Joe is there to defend as it moves back on the side of Ohio State.
Really good opportunity for Poke there. Unfortunately, he just couldn't get any boost.
That was close. I thought he almost had it. It looked like Tilted there for a second, was almost able to get the shot, but it looks like unfortunately missed it. Nightmares also just trying to keep the ball on the side, and it looks like he's able to get it, setting himself up, and a nice tap onto the goal. Nightmares scores for EKU, bringing it to 2-1.
Nightmare's able to do it all himself there. He's living up to his name, being an absolute nightmare on the attack. He's not allowing any of the defenders for Ohio State to rest.
Yeah, and it looks like 2 minutes and 19 seconds left. Ohio State has to answer this. Nightmares just applying constant pressure. It looks like Tilted's doing the same as well now. Diesel and Poke there to defend. JG caught in rotation. Nightmares, though, able to get the ball from the air. Queeds trying to go for it, but Tilted getting on an empty net, and it looks like Queeds is just stopping. Tilted able to get a 3rd goal, 2 goals in quick succession for EKU.
Ohio State is absolutely scrambling now on the defense. They have no answers. Nightmares and Tilted Joe are an absolute force as a 1-2 punch. Nightmares not letting anybody rest, and then Tilted Joe able to just finish it off there.
Yeah, 1-3 right now. Ohio State has to answer these uncontested goals. We just saw an empty net, no one there for rotations. And, overall, we're going to have to see some good plays coming in from Ohio State. Poke trying to poke it in, able to get it. A nice shot coming in, set up by Diesel. And now it's a very close game with 1:55 left.
Yeah, Ohio State absolutely not out of this game at all. Plenty of time in Rocket League. As we saw in the last game, anything can happen in a matter of seconds. Poke, as we said earlier, Ohio State was going to need somebody to step up like Slaney was, and Poke seems to be doing that right now. 2 goals.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be very important coming into this next. Nightmare just seems to definitely be a nightmare for Ohio State. Queeds trying to defend, but Tilted Joe getting a shot from midfield. That is 4 goals for EKU with only 1:47 left.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be a shootout of a series right now. Queeds really close on the save there, just couldn't quite get it out into the corner. Tilted Joe with an absolute snipe from half.
Yeah, Tilted Joe and Nightmares, it seems like they are the 2 powerhouses in terms of the offense for EKU. Looks like, JG is definitely playing a more defensive role, but it seems to be working quite well. Poke and Diesel trying to get the aggression. Queeds has to defend. Nice demo coming in from Diesel. That's going to split up some rotation. Queeds able to take some of that pressure off of Poke, but looks like he's getting another demo, but it's an empty goal, and Nightmares gets a hat trick. 3 goals for Nightmare. And 5 goals on the board for EKU.
Yeah, the demo's not going to be enough there by Poke. Had to get a piece of that. Nightmare is able to make him pay. Finishes the shot, gets the hat trick. That makes it 5 goals for Nightmares and Nightmares and Joe alone.
Yeah, this is getting scary now. Diesel and Queeds look like Diesel getting a nice demo onto him. Queeds, though, trying to set up Poke, but Poke, it didn't look like he was ready to support. Poke, though, now has to try to defend. It's an empty goal. Rotations coming in. JG getting a nice shot, but it looks like Diesel is able to defend it. These have been some very close shots coming in from EKU, and now, with only a minute left, Ohio State has to do something to respond to what's going on right now, but it looks like all of the sides of EKU are still trying to put in that pressure. Poke not winning the 1v1, but Queeds able to get it, but JG swiping it away from Poke. Queeds now has to try to defend as Poke gets the ball back, but only 46 seconds left. Tilted Joe getting a demo, and Nightmares also getting demoed by Queeds. A lot of demos coming in as Diesel tries to get a shot, but is unable to do so. Tilted Joe taking the ball, able to win with the 1v1. 33 seconds left, and it's going to be a hard-pressed time for Ohio State to come back from this.
Yeah, Ohio State's going to have to just regroup here, get ready for game 2. Lot to work on here, lot to like from EKU. Nightmares and Tilted are just an absolute powerhouse on the attack there, just keeping the pressure on. I think as Nightmares gets a 4th goal here, a little salt in the wound, but
yeah,
JG is he's just relaxing. He's got a coffee in his hand. He's just chilling in the back line. He's not got much work to do.
Yeah, I mean, Tilted Joe, though, has been very good on defense, and that's the one thing to say about EKU is, they definitely know their positions, and they know them well, and if Ohio State wants to stay competitive in this match, they're going to have to try to just, oh, it looks like Diesel wants to get a goal in quickly before we move into the second game. There are only 1 second left, virtually impossible for Ohio State to get this. But yeah, I mean, going into this next game, they have to, I guess, see that Nightmares and Tilted are the two big powerhouses from the offense. JG likes to stay pretty passive in the back, wait for the defense, wait for rotates. They don't really like to commit all 3 players on the side of the offense as we move into the first game win for EKU.
Yeah, Nightmares and Tilted have been just carrying the team. JG, he really hasn't had to do anything, which I think if you're Ohio State, that's a little scary. You might take away Nightmares, you might take away Tilted Joe, but what is JG gonna do then? What if he comes in? He's just as much a force on offense, if not better than Nightmares and Tilted. Um, he's kind of their secret weapon right now. Ohio State's really gotta figure out something. They gotta get something going. They gotta get the ball in the other half.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like constant pressure on the side of Ohio State. Ohio State didn't look like they were really able to win those 1v1s that they needed to. It looked like, just in terms of EKU, just having a lot of teamwork coming into this. And that was very apparent as we saw in that game. I mean, just a lot of teamwork from Nightmares and Tilted. JG as well. I mean, just able to defend that consistently is very impressive, to say the least. I mean, it's definitely an unspoken hero to be able to defend that goal. But Ohio State was trying to put up some numbers, but JG was there to defend, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like Ohio State really, their goals were really coming on fast breaks, unsettled situations. Maybe they lean towards that in game 2. Maybe they try to play more defensively and really try to catch Nightmares and Tilted on just completely out of position.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to go into the second match here. As we can see, it is now a one game lead, for EKU as we move into this. Looks like still Nightmares and Tilted putting that pressure on Diesel defending. But overall, you see that pressure, and Nightmares still wants to bring it with JG as well now. That looks like they're triple committing, but JG is rotating back as Diesel is able to get the ball back. Queeds as well able to win the 1v1 as he pokes the ball. Looks like he's trying to set somebody up, but Nightmares is there to get it. Poke, though, winning the 1v1 again. 40 boost, and Diesel is going to try to get set up here, and it looks like Poke and Diesel are able to get the first goal.
Absolutely great setup from Poke there, playing it off the wall, able to get the double touch in the air, right to Diesel, who's able to finish, nobody in the goal to protect it. And that's kind of exactly what I was just talking about. EKU, JG came up, Ohio State found him in an unsettled position, they took the opportunity, took the break, and were able to get a goal out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that JG just was completely out of position. The rotation just was, it seemed sloppy almost. JG seemed like he was really good. Wow, Queeds almost getting a shot, to getting tapped out by Tilted Joe, but that could have just been everything. 4 minutes left on the clock, and a demo coming in for Queeds. That's going to just scramble the rotations. Queeds going in for another shot, unable to get it, though. It looks like Poke is trying to get the defense. Nightmare is lining up a shot with JG. JG, it looks like he wants to take now the offensive role. That's going to be an interesting thing coming forward. We saw the rotations were really the demise for EKU. JG now taking a more offensive role. It's going to be interesting what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to see how EKU changes their rotations here. They're trying to maybe unsettle Ohio State, show them a different look here, but looks like Ohio State's been prepared for it so far.
Oh, look at that demo from Diesel coming in from behind. JG, though, is trying to defend the goal, winning that 1v1. Tilted as well over on the side of EKU. Diesel going for another shot, but defended by Nightmares. JG is still on the defense, though. It's going to be interesting if he stays back now on the defense or goes for more offense. As we can see, though, Queeds on a shot on an empty goal. Looked like there was a double commit coming in from EKU, which cost them a second goal in this second game.
Great goal by Queeds here. Diesel with the good setup off the ceiling. Queeds just able to find the space, get it in the net. A little different look here from Ohio State. Obviously, Poke with the 2 goals in the first game for him. He's got neither so far. Diesel's got 1, and Queeds has 1. Let's see if that continues.
Yeah, I mean that was exactly what you wanted to see. You saw a lot more aggression, and now I think that EKU is definitely feeling it. Looks like they're trying to bring the pressure to Ohio State. Tilted winning the 1v1, able to try to get a shot on the goal, but Diesel there to defend. Looks like JG is going to try to get him away. Poke not winning his 1v1 and caught out of position. Now they have to defend. Queeds is here, but missing the shot. JG is trying to dribble it up, try to get the ball to someone else, but no one is there to get it. Nightmares is getting the boost over to the goal, trying to set somebody up. He's trying to get the ball, but Diesel able to save. Very nice save from Diesel. That could have been a pretty bad goal from EKU if they got that, but JG still wants to put this pressure on Nightmares as well, getting a sinker in the middle of the goal, but Poke there to defend. Tilted coming back, trying to get it, but Diesel also there to defend again. It looks like they are just being relentless on this attack.
Yeah, they're being relentless, but Ohio State doesn't seem super flustered. There have been a lot of close goals, but the rotations are still there. They're still getting a lot of the, good saves.
Ooh.
They're able to keep the ball out. They look settled still. A lot different from the first game.
I mean, it just looks like that they're able to keep the rotations. They're able to just keep their head. Poke getting caught in. Hits the top though. Diesel with a close shot, closer than I think it should have been. But Queeds also, it looks like they want a little bit more defense, and they're just taking advantage of the holes that EKU gives them in rotations. Queeds getting a nice demo. That's gonna have to reset them. They're gonna have to try to defend this. Nightmares not winning his 1v1, but JG able to swipe it away from Queeds. It's going down to midfield. Diesel there to defend. Now it looks like Nightmares is trying to poke it in. Queeds though with another defense. Great defense right now from Ohio State with a minute 16 seconds left. They've been shaving a lot of time off this clock. A lot of goals have been attempted by EKU, but nothing seems to have stick.
Yeah, Ohio State, like I said, they seem settled in defense now. A lot different from the first game. They were scrambling everywhere. They couldn't find an answer for the rebounds, but they look a lot more settled. They've settled into defense. They really I think they've taken to heart that we got to play defense, and then we take our opportunities when EKU gets unsettled, and it's given them a 2-0 lead here, and it's burned plenty of clock. EKU can't find a hole.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like JG is spending a lot more time on the offense, which it doesn't seem like they're really able to capitalize on. And it looks like, more so the rotations are coming in. JG obviously wanting to get those taps, want to be able to spend some time on the offense. But Poke able to just get another goal in the empty goal. JG was just completely caught up position, and no one was really there to defend. It looked like Tilted was backing up trying to get it, but not able to win the 1v1. And Ohio State now up 3-0, and assuredly a Game 2 victory for them in this match.
Yeah, Poke with the almost impossible angle shot there. Ohio State, great team play so far. Each player with their own goal here. They're just playing as a team. They've got the beautiful rotations, and they're taking all their opportunities when they're provided.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing going into this. Nightmare trying to get a nice shot onto the goal, but unable to capitalize, and Tilted there as well. Ohio State, they really just came back into this giving it their all. It looks like they're going to be able to get one. Nightmares is able to get it in the final seconds as we move into the end of Game 2. But, Ohio State just came back. They saw what was going wrong, and it looks like they were really able to just bring their A game into the second game.
A bit of a too little too late there goal from Nightmares, but maybe something they can feel about going into Game 3. Interesting strategy choice to have JG play more aggressively in Game 2. I'm not sure if that was a try to maybe slam the door on Ohio State before that, but it really played in Ohio State's favor. They took that, they sat back, they played defense, waited for JG to commit too hard, and then they just scored on all the opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, it really just seemed like they were caught out of rotation. When they had that third man finally playing offense, JG was playing more of that midfield defensive role. But then, by the beginning of Game 2, they really did not have anybody as kind of that primary defensive player, and I think it really hurt them. I think if they want to stay competitive in this, obviously they should adapt, and I think that includes keeping more players on the defensive side and not letting OSU just run away from this.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if EKU tries to go back to their strategy from Game 1, or if they try to keep it, make a few adjustments and keep the pressure on with JG playing more midfield, more up. It'll be interesting to see if they go back, but obviously the pressure's all on them now. They really had the upper hand after Game 1, and Ohio State came in and they just punched them right in the nose.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing to think about here is, EKU had all that advantage coming in with just the momentum, and Ohio State just brought their A game back. And it's going to be interesting, as you can see, Tilted Joe winning that 1v1, Queeds having to try to dribble the ball, but it looks like Nightmares and JG is actually playing more offensive role. Looks like he's going to try to get it into the goal, but Diesel there to defend as well. JG now caught out of the position. Tilted Joe able to just float it all the way back onto Ohio State side. Nightmares looks like he wants to also take the pressure onto Ohio State. JG losing that 1v1 though, caught out of position, getting a nice demo. Diesel and Poke able to get that goal. That's
brilliant
the first
demo.
one. Yeah,
that demo was absolutely crucial by Diesel, the only defender there to make a play on it, and he just 1 second he's there, 1 second he's not, and Poke takes full advantage.
Yeah, I mean, this is just another thing where you see JG just completely out of position. He was unable to get that 1v1, and it cost EKU their entire goal. You know, coming into this with only 27 seconds into that. Poke getting a demo onto JG. Tilted Joe is going to have to try to scramble, and Diesel and Poke there to defend though. JG looks like he wants to take the pressure onto Ohio State. Ball in the air, trying to do some acrobatics. Tilted Joe there as well, trying to get the ball onto the side. Nightmare though with a close shot, getting set up by Joe, but Poke there to defend. Still pressure on Ohio State to answer for this. JG getting in close. Nightmares getting set up. Queeds though able to defend. 2 close shots from EKU and no capitalization from this.
Yeah, Ohio State seems like they're just in control right now. EKU might have the ball on Ohio State's side, but I think Ohio State's really controlling this game. They're playing it exactly how they want to, and it's showing on the scoreboard in the last 2 games.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I feel like, you know, when Ohio State puts that pressure on, it feels like a lot more pressure than, you know, what EKU can do on the side. You know, you see a lot of shots from JG, Nightmares, and Tilted, but overall just not able to get anything into the goal for Ohio State, as Nightmares gets a demo though. That's going to scramble the defense, but Queeds looks like he still wants to take this with Diesel onto the side of EKU as Poke gets back onto the field. It looks like all 3 players now are trying to defend against it. Diesel trying to get the ball back onto the side of EKU, is able to do so with Poke. Nightmares though able to defend a floater. Queeds getting a very close shot onto it, a little bit too far to the right, and the pressure goes back on the side of OSU, but Pope winning the 1v1, but looks like Queeds there too, putting the floater all the way back to the side of EKU. You know, this is definitely a low-scoring game, and a little bit different than we've been seeing in the most recent games against EKU.
Absolutely more low-scoring. I think that's playing into Ohio State's hand, though. I think they're completely content with playing this game slow, like you said. Their pressure looks much more impactful than EKU's, despite EKU having the ball more. I think Ohio State's really taking quality over quantity to heart, and it's playing into their favor.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing, right, is you know, there's a lot of shots that have been happening on the side of EKU. You know, EKU has been trying their hardest to get it between those 2 posts, but unfortunately, you know, and then with a nice demo from Tilted, their offense is going to be a little stifled. Poke, though, able to defend against JG too. Looks like JG was going up for it, but Queed's able to get the 1v1 against JG. 1:51 left on the clock. Diesel going for a long shot, going to get caught out. This could be the first thing for a while, but it looks like JG, it might be able to get it, and it looks like Tilted Joe is able to score. I think, did I just see
maybe Queeds? A bit of an own goal there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I just saw Queeds or Diesel, sorry, actually shoot. Yeah, it looks like he did. He shot his own goal. I'm not sure if, you know, if he had a mirror and he just, you know, thought that he was on the other side, but, you know, it happens.
Diesel and Tilted came there about the same time. I don't think it mattered who really hit the ball there. I think that was going in either way, but, you know, not something you want to see from Ohio State's perspective. They looked really strong. They just got to regroup here, continue to play their game, I think, and not get too antsy. I think that would play right into EKU's hands.
Yeah, I think as long as Ohio State just stays structured here, they stay, you know, very in control of themselves, you know, they're going to be able to see themselves definitely take this match quicker. It looks like, though, on the side of EKU, they're trying to put some pressure on the ball. 1:13 left on the clock. You know, this is such a low-scoring game. It seems like the next goal, whoever gets it, is going to be firmly in the lead, and that could really determine, you know, who's going to be the one to look out for in Game 4.
Yeah, I think the bigger question here is not who's going to get the first goal, but is the first goal going to come in regulation?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with how low scoring we've seen and just the amount of back and forth action, it's definitely not out of the question to think, are we just going to see whoever gets it first into overtime and how long that overtime could even take? With 42 seconds left on the clock, you know, it's going to be the pressure on everyone. Tilted Joe getting a nice shot onto Ohio State's side, but it looks like Nightmares is there to get it back. 30 seconds remaining. Queeds has to defend against Tilted Joe and Nightmares. Queeds able to defend floater all the way to the side of Ohio State. Tilted Joe getting 2 demos. That could be it. And JG scores. That's 2 goals on the board for
Wow.
EKU with only 20 seconds left. Ohio State has to answer in those 20 seconds or we could be going to a game 4.
Wow, Tilted Joe there coming in with 2 massive demolitions. Absolutely no chance for Ohio State to do anything. Yeah, that was the freest goal. I didn't see who scored, but that's the freest goal they're ever going to get.
Yeah, I mean, with only 17 seconds left, I think EKU is definitely content with playing a more defensive game. Looks like Tilted Joe and JG are there to defend. Poke has to try to get this in with Diesel. Diesel getting a nice demo. Nightmares as
They
well.
actually
Looks
traded.
Like
they traded.
They traded Diesels. Yeah, 3 seconds left, though. They have to keep the ball alive right now. JG looks like he's trying to swat it down, and he's able to do so.
Diesel unable to get there at the end, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a second game for EKU, and moving on to game 4 here, it's do or die for Ohio State. They have to get this win here if they want to stay alive and keep the 5-1 dream for this league in contention.
Yeah, EKU there, they decided to keep up with the 3 on attack. It looked like it wasn't going to work for them. Ohio State with a quick goal right at the beginning, and they were just playing their game. EKU finally able to get a goal through, and then Tilted Joe with the absolutely amazing double demolition there. Absolutely clutch goal with, I believe, like 21 seconds left. Really no chance for Ohio State to come back, especially with how slow they've been playing it, and how a majority of their goals have only come on the counterattack. I think EKU has a lot to like coming from that game going into game 4.
Yeah, and it's going to be very important to keep up that pressure. We saw what happens with game 2. What happened when EKU kind of faltered a little bit and lost those rotations. As long as EKU is able to stay snappy, we could be seeing a quick win here onto game 4. And that could just definitely demoralize Ohio State coming into this. Ohio State has to keep their head up. I think they were doing some great things there in game 3. I think they just they were able to really take control of the game up until about midpoint, or probably about 2 minutes before EKU was really able to just apply that pressure and put Ohio State in the hot seat. But it looks like a quick demo onto Poke, actually. That's going to screw up some rotations. Poke able to get it close. Tilted Joe able to defend. That could have been a very fast goal on the side of Ohio State.
I was about to say, I think demolitions are going to play a huge part here in game 4. I think rotations rule in this series right now. Whoever's teams can get the other team's rotations messed up is going to win. I think demos are a great way to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw that in the last game where just all of the defenders died basically on the side of Ohio State, and EKU was able to capitalize with a decisive goal to propel them to the win on that game.
Yeah, I really think that whichever team is able to get the other team out of their rotations, another demo coming in hot and heavy with the demos here. I really think that whichever team maybe has more demos is going to win this game.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But the other thing that we haven't talked a little bit about, is that boost management. You saw JG there was struggling a little bit, trying to go up for the ball, but without a boost, unable to do so. Diesel, though, with a very close shot. Nightmares kind of ping-ponging it in their own goal, but able to get it. But Queeds on an empty goal tries to get it, unable to do so. Poke now has to defend against the 3 members of EKU. He's missing it. Diesel has to now defend, and it looks like he's going to be able to, but EKU still wants to apply that pressure. Queeds is going to try to put it downfield. It looks like the rotations are coming in from the side of EKU, and Diesel is there to put the ball back on the midfield. It's currently a very close game, 3 minutes and 30 seconds left and no score.
Yeah, I think, like you said, the economy with the boost is going to come in huge, especially because I think demos are going to be so important. Obviously, demos require boost to happen, so, the more they're going for demos, the more boost they're going to use.
Oh, wait, hang on a second here. Oh, wow. From the backfield, it looks like we saw a demolition coming
Mid-air,
in for the side of EKU. But unfortunately, then with that double commit, Poke was able to score on an empty goal.
And there's, as we talked about, there's that rotation getting messed up. The double commit absolutely blows the rotation and gives a free goal for Poke coming from the back line.
Yeah, I mean that obviously we saw low-scoring games coming into Game 3. You know that could have been one of the most crucial goals into this game. And Diesel though trying to get it, able to hit the crossbar a little bit. That was a close goal, or a goal attempt, I should say. And now they have to try to defend Diesel there in the backfield, trying to get that 1v1. JG able to win it though. Queeds trying to dribble it all the way up into the midfield. It's now on the pressure onto EKU to answer for what Ohio State was able to do. Nightmares is defending with Tilted Joe. Queeds trying to come back on rotation. He has the boost. He's able to go up for the ball. Ball is currently in the air. Diesel getting it back on the side of EKU, trying to get it in. JG has to try to defend this. It's close. JG able to defend, but that could have been a second goal on the board for Ohio State.
Yeah, it looks like EKU is trying to have JG play a little more back. Obviously getting the save there. Big save for EKU. He's been in the goal a lot in this game 4. I think they're maybe reverting a little bit despite having a little success there at the end of game 3.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's honestly working out a little bit. 2 minutes left, and it feels like there's a lot more pressure on the side of Ohio State. You know, they have these close shots. It looks like JG, though, was playing in the offense there, so I guess they're still having him a little bit on the offense. JG, it looks like he's going to try to set up Tilted, but Poke is able to defend. Nightmares trying to go for that 1v1. Tilted there as well. Queed's able to just bounce the ball back. And, you know, with all the time that the ball is in the air, that's time that Ohio State, you know, is able to just play defense and not let anybody score. But Nightmare getting a demo onto Pope. This could be the demo that we were looking for. Tilted is able to get the ball up in the air, but no one on the side of EKU is there to get the offense. And Poke is going to try to get this ball back over to midfield. JG winning the 1v1. Nightmare now also winning the 1v1. Tilted trying to capitalize on this, but unable to do so. And it looks like with 1 minute and 14 seconds left, it's going back on the side of EKU. And it looks like a demo coming in from Queeds. And, you know, with 1 minute left, this is such a low-scoring game, just like Game 3.
I don't think I've ever seen so many demos in a few games of Rocket League ever. This is, they're just, they're coming out left and right here. Who can get more demos is a question. Who can capitalize?
Yeah, I mean, with only 50 seconds left, it's all on EKU to try to score here if we don't want to go to a Game 5. Poke is getting some nice pokes onto the midfield, able to get the ball in the air. All that float time is allowing for, but Tilted Joe with a nice shot, but JG is trying to get it, but Queeds is there to defend. Nightmares winning the 1v1, 30 seconds remaining, trying to get it in, but Poke able to swat it all the way over to the side of EKU. Poke looks like he wants to take the fight to them. 20 seconds left now as Diesel tries to get control of the ball. Looks like Queeds is going to be there too. Nightmares is there to defend. 16 seconds left as Poke puts more pressure onto them. All 3 members of Ohio State committing to this offense. Poke getting a nice demo. Diesel now has to try to defend against Tilted Joe's attack. It looks like Poke's there as well. 5 seconds left, and if they are unable to capitalize on this ball, it's going to go on the side of Ohio State, and it looks like it will. We are moving to a Game 5. Low-scoring game.
Yeah, extremely low scoring. The demo's playing a huge role. As I said, Poke there getting a demo with not that much time left. Really killed any chance that EKU had of a counterattack in the last seconds to maybe get a game-tying goal. They only had a 2v3 for pretty much the entirety of the end of the game.
Yeah, with that, you know, just loss of rotation, he was unable to really make up that ground by the end of it, you know, got reset back to his side, and, you know, overall with only 2 members on the side of EKU to try to, you know, get that last goal, they were just, you know, unable to do so against all 3 members of Ohio State. Definitely some great defense coming in from Ohio State. You know, you saw EKU really try to apply that pressure with all 3 members of their team, but, you know, not able to capitalize on a single goal. You know, low-scoring games overall.
Yeah, absolutely more defensive games than our first series and even the first few games. But, you know, I think we can't overstate the importance of the demolitions in this game enough. It's not even like they're just blowing up the goalies for easy shots. As like I said, Poke getting a kill on the complete opposite end of the on the end of the court. You know, really killing EKU's chance of a counterattack. You know. The demos are coming in everywhere, on offense, on defense, you know, all sorts of them.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing really is, with those demos, we really see a lot of players just kind of get a little flustered. It was hard to come back after getting demoed to be able to try to defend. But looks like JG wants to put up that pressure early. Nightmares is there too to get the ball, trying to get the 1v1, and Nightmares actually getting the demo quick, but it's on the side now of EKU. Queeds and Poke trying to get that pressure onto the side. Tilted Joe trying to bring it back, but Poke able to get a nice shot onto the top. Looks like Queeds was trying to get set up there by Poke. Diesel too with a very close shot. Queeds trying to get it in, trying to tap it in, but Tilted Joe there to defend as Tilted Joe brings it to the side of Ohio State. Diesel though winning the 1v1 but getting the demo. Tilted Joe has just been demoing every car in his path, it seems like.
Yeah, the demos, two right off the bat. We're not even a minute in. We got 2 demos. EKU pushing the attack here, and then Poke going on the counter, and it's the.
Oh, wait, hang on a second here. We see
another double demo
a trade right now. Queeds is trying to put on that pressure on the side of EKU. JG and Tilted there to defend. Diesel, though, getting a nice shot on the top. Poke able to get it in, helping Diesel. And that's a first goal very quickly on the board for Ohio State.
Yeah, absolutely massive rebound from Poke there. Obviously, the double demo coming in a little disrupted both teams. But Ohio State, being on the offensive, they were able to just keep the pressure on. And then when Poke was able to get back up, he's there to finish.
Yeah, and that's the thing, really, is, Tilted didn't really see much there. Poke still trying to put that pressure on. It looks like Poke's trying to get this game over with as soon as possible. Doesn't want to take it into an overtime. Queed's there also to get the ball on the midfield. It looks like there's going to be a demo on the side of Diesel, getting it onto Nightmares. JG and Tilted, though, are content with trying to take this ball. Queed's able to win the 1v1. It's in the air, 3 minutes and 35 on the clock, and only 1 score as the Ohio State team looks like they want to put on that pressure. It's Diesel in the back trying to get those goals, but Nightmares is able to defend as we see 2 players on the side of EKU there to defend. Queeds trying to go up for the goal, and Diesel as well putting on that pressure as well. Now only 3 minutes left in the game.
Ohio State forcing a lot of double commits on the side of the defense for EKU. EKU is scrambling right now. Ohio State's not even getting demolitions. They're just forcing shots on net. They're just applying the pressure.
Yeah, and it seems like there has to be 2 people on the goal at all times. JG there to defend, but you see here, Tilted Joe and Nightmares are both there to defend. Tilted Joe is just trying his hardest to keep the ball away from his net. Him and JG as well. Poke is going up for the ball, able to get it on the top. Nightmares, though, trying to go back. It looks like Diesel is there as well, and they're able to swat the ball away. Nightmares, though, on an empty goal. It looks like Diesel, though, they're able to get the commit, and Queeds, though, up in the air, able to win that 1v1. JG is trying to bring the pressure back onto Ohio State's side, but Tilted Joe is unable to capitalize. It looks like they're up in the air. Diesel is winning that 1v1 as JG comes back from the midfield. Poke there as well. Diesel looks like he wants to try to take it with Queeds to go up into the side. Queeds is on the side trying to get a goal. It looks like it's going to be close, but JG there to defend. Diesel is up in the air, able to try to help Diesel, and with only 2 minutes left, the pressure's on EKU to respond to that first goal.
Yeah, EKU really looking like they're starting to settle down on defense, hopefully trying to push the attack. Obviously Nightmares and Tilted Joe showed what they could do in the first game. They're just trying to get a little something going.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be really up to these rotations, and if they get caught out in position, we saw JG actually demoing Queeds. That's going to be a close shot, hitting the top a little bit too much, but JG there to get the rebound. That's 1 on the board now for EKU, and a tied game with only 1:41 left on this game.
Yeah, JG getting the demo, I believe, in goal there, forcing the broken rotations, and he was there for the goal as well. EKU really starting to get into their own now. We got a great game, 1:40 left, winner take all here.
Yeah, I mean, as this is the 5th game, this is everything, but JG trying to get the offense. That's a quick try. Queeds, though, able to bound it. I thought that was just going to be a quick goal on the side of EKU, but it looks like Poke wants to try to take this advantage to the side of Ohio State. JG there to defend, but Diesel winning that 1v1, trying to get it into that empty goal, but Tilted Joe is there to defend, and it looks like Poke is trying to help Queeds set it up. It's an empty goal. Nightmares not able to win that 1v1, and Poke trying to get it in, tapping it in. Queeds with a close shot, but Tilted Joe there to defend. JG swatting it back over to the side with only a minute left. Whoever gets this next goal, this could be everything, and it could even happen in overtime.
Yeah, this is a absolute defensive masterclass from both teams. They're just not giving in. It's really coming down to.
Hang on a second here.
As I said, another great save by Diesel.
That was a little too close for me. I don't know about you. That was just a little too close for comfort. With only 39 seconds left, like I said, it's really up to whoever gets this next goal, given how low scoring these previous games have been.
Yeah, I mean, Diesel's playing a great goalie, so is JG. They are just trying to keep the ball out, doing everything they can. The defense has been immaculate.
Hang on a second here. It's an empty goal.
As I say that, the commentator cursed Tilted Joe, able to get the goal there.
That's 19 seconds left. Ohio State has to answer this if they want to stay alive in this match.
Yeah, 19 seconds. That's not looking great for Ohio State, but, crazier things have happened.
Yeah, with only 19 seconds left, this could go either way. It looks like Poke and Diesel want to take it. Queeds winning that 1v1 against Nightmare. All three players for Ohio State now committing to this offense, but it looks like Nightmares is going to be able to take control of the ball and swat it on the side of Ohio State. Diesel and Queeds there to defend, but it looks like Nightmares is trying to take the pressure, able to get the demo. Only 3 seconds left. They have to keep the ball in the air as it stays in. Tilted Joe is keeping it in the air on the side of Ohio State. Poke has to try to keep this ball alive. Looks like Tilted Joe is trying to keep it there. JG is trying to put it back onto the side of the net, and it looks like EKU will be the winner of this match.
Wow, what an absolutely great game. And the demo, it wasn't there for a while there in the middle of the game, and there it is right at the end, coming in clutch for EKU, getting the demo, stopping the counterattack, much like Ohio State did to them in the previous game, just not giving them the opportunity, forcing a 2v3 with almost no time left.
Yeah, I think, really just coming into this, with these low-scoring games, you could tell that how evenly matched these two teams were. It was definitely very back and forth. We saw, EKU able to take that first game, Ohio State really coming back, but EKU was just able to squeeze out that last game, 2-1. That could have gone to overtime, and, it could have been anyone's game. But, good job to EKU. Good luck to them as they move on to here. Looks like Ohio State is going to be 4-2 in this, play versus. And that's not a bad record. That's no slouch. 4-2. Still, it's just some great games overall and some great performances on the side of Ohio State.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ohio State should not feel ashamed at all. They played an absolutely great game as well as EKU. Absolutely defensive masterclass, as I said, on both sides. Some of the saves are absolutely ridiculous from both teams. I think Ohio State has a lot to build off of from this game. I think EKU learned a lot as well. I think both teams will be very strong going forward. Obviously, both with very good records. 5-1. We actually don't know what EKU at least 4-1, and then Ohio State 4-2. Both teams. It's going to get harder from here the more they win. But I think both teams are very much so up to the challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And, obviously we will be able to, watch the progression as, this league goes on. Still a lot of Rocket League to be had here, in play versus. So, we've got a couple more weeks of, the regulation games before we move on to other stuff. But, it was great to see tonight, and I was definitely, glad to see these close games, to be able to go to a best of 5 and, see all 5 games, definitely just, some close games and just some great performance overall.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I didn't even know that I could name an MVP tonight. I think all 6 players were on absolute fire. They all had their moments. They all had great plays. Tilted Joe had the double demo. JG with some great saves. Diesel with some great saves. A lot of great Rocket League action. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it was great to see tonight. And, I had a blast casting it. And thank you so much for being here, Daniel.
Absolutely. I had an absolute blast as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget to follow the Ohio State University esports program on Twitch and Twitter. All of the links are in the description. My name is Jeremy, or JermsPC. I was joined today by Daniel, or Danny Beans. This has been Rocket League Week 5. Have a good night.
Have a great night, everybody.